Well, first of all, thank you, Zivik, Marty, for having me today at this very timely discussion workshop. And also, very honored to share the stage with Yaroslav and Yakov, Carolina, and Yakov. Yeah. So I guess I'm tasked with talking about Taiwan, and what Yaroslav and Carolina just mentioned got me thinking about the definition of trauma in the Taiwanese context. Well, PRC has never controlled Taiwan. However, a perception of threats, the contested statehood, and the fear of losing sovereignty, these things persist in the Taiwanese society. So that's why I guess used in 2022 near the de facto Moscow, embassy, but the Moscow representative office in Taipei. In front of that, there's protest, and you saw the protest, and some not just Ukrainian Taiwan, but also Taiwanese people show up to support and support Ukraine. Yeah. I prepare a 10 minutes remark. I would like to reflect on the implications of Russia's invasion of Ukraine for Taiwan's security. So it's related to this your book, and I'm looking forward to reading your book. I don't read German, I speak German, but looking forward to the English version of it. So while Ukraine and Taiwan are fundamentally different in terms of their geopolitical context, international status, and alliance structures, the war in Ukraine has provided a wake-up call and important lessons that are actively shaping Taiwan's strategic thinking across the political spectrum. So including the DPP, the ruling party, and KMT or TPP, opposition parties. And I'll focus on three main areas: deterrence dynamics, alliance politics, and Taiwan's internal policy recalibration. First, the war in Ukraine has reinforced the complexity of deterrence. On one hand, the strong Western response, including unprecedented sanctions, export controls, and financial restrictions, has clearly demonstrated that military aggression can trigger severe economic and diplomatic consequences. And this is an important signal to Beijing, indicating that the cost of military invasion of Taiwan could be far greater than previously calculated. On the other hand, deterrence failed to prevent Russia's invasion in the first place. This serves as a sobering reminder for Taiwan that deterrence by punishment, that is threatening retaliation after an attack, may not be sufficient to prevent conflict. So as a result, there has been a growing emphasis in Taiwan on deterrence by denial. In other words, making any potential invasion prohibitively difficult and costly to execute. This is also often described as a porcupine strategy, making Taiwan difficult, if not impossible, to swallow. The PLA has closely studied the challenges faced by Russian forces, particularly the logistical difficulties of a large-scale offensive and the fierce resistance from Ukraine's defenders. For Taiwan, with its mountainous terrain and the limited landing beaches, these challenges would be even more severe for any amphibious assault or other invading forces. Consequently, Taiwan is investing heavily in strengthening its asymmetric capabilities, such as mobile missile units like Javelins, low Earth orbit satellites, LEO satellites, and fast attack craft and advanced surveillance, all aimed at complicating any potential amphibious assault. Reservist reform, stockpiling essential supplies, and bolstering civil defense have become priorities. Second point I want to raise is the Ukraine war has underscored the importance of robust international coalitions. The coordination among the US, EU, NATO, and the Indo-Pacific partners in responding to Russia's aggression has been remarkable. Although Taiwan is not a formal treaty ally of the United States or any NATO member, the war in Ukraine has elevated Taiwan's visibility in global security discussions. For example, the US has deepened its support for Taiwan through continuing arms sales and training. According to a Reuters news article published just 6 days or 7 days ago, the second Trump administration plans to ramp up weapon sales to Taipei to levels exceeding those of Trump's first term as part of an effort to deter China amid its intensifying military pressure on the Democratic Island. The first Trump administration approved arms sales of approximately 18.3 billion US dollar worth of weapons to Taiwan, compared with around 8.4 billion US dollar during Joe Biden's term, according to Reuters calculations. Well, Taiwan's neighboring country, Japan, for example, has also made its position increasingly clear, with its strategic documents explicitly linking Taiwan's security to Japan's own national interests. A similar statement has been made by Marcos administration in the Philippines. And NATO, too, for the first time, has identified China as a strategic challenge, acknowledging that security in Europe and the Indo-Pacific are interconnected. Additionally, the Ukraine crisis has accelerated conversations around economic security, especially concerning semiconductor supply chains, defense industrial collaboration, and critical infrastructure protection, all of which are central to Taiwan's role in the global economy. In this sense, while Taiwan remains outside any formal alliance structure, it is increasingly integrated into a web of security partnerships and the dialogues aimed at preserving peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait and in East Asia, in the region. My final point, the third point, is the war in Ukraine has prompted significant internal policy adjustments within Taiwan. One of the most visible changes is the extension of mandatory military service from 4 months to 1 year. When I was in the military many years ago, it was 1 year service, and then it was reduced to 4 months. 4 months is like it's not very useful. I would just put it this way. Okay. So it's back to 1 year. Okay. And Taiwan's defense budget has steadily increased with new acquisitions, including Harpoon coastal defense missiles, high mobility artillery rocket systems, and Patriot air defense upgrades. There has also been a notable expansion of civil defense initiatives with non-governmental organizations and local communities actively engaging in disaster preparedness and defense education. At the societal level, the Ukraine war has sparked broader debates about self-reliance, psychological resilience, and the importance of national unity in the face of external threats. That said, while Taiwan is drawing lessons from Ukraine, we must also be cautious not to overstate the parallels. Taiwan's situation is distinct. It lacks formal security guarantees like NATO's Article 5, The U.S. policy of strategic ambiguity still leaves certain uncertainties, and plus the second Trump administration. So it's even more uncertain, unpredictable. China's military capabilities, economic leverage, and political calculations are not identical to Russia's. So therefore, while Ukraine offers valuable lessons, Taiwan's security strategy must be tailored to its own unique set of challenges. In short, Russia's invasion of Ukraine has heightened Taiwan's awareness of both its vulnerabilities and its opportunity to strengthen resilience. And the key takeaways for Taiwan, I think, are including to deter aggression by making invasion prohibitively costly, and to deepen international partnerships while managing geopolitical risks, and to enhance international readiness through defense reform and societal resilience. And these efforts pursued in parallel will be critical to maintaining peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait in the years ahead. Looking forward to further discussion. Thank you.